Hi, this is Carson Suer with my general discourse interview. My discourse community being my house. This is my roommate, Colin. I guess just start with the easier question here. How long have you lived here, Colin?
I moved in August of right before my freshman year, so August 2021. And I've been here for about 3 semesters, and I love it so far.
It's pretty great. Colin and I live in doors down the hall, but we are one of 11 roommates in this house. Colin, what were things about this house that made you want to move in?
Honestly, the things that made me want to move in were just the community that was around this house and the people in the house, and I just wanted to live with the people I met my freshman year that I just really enjoyed, and I got asked to live with them, and it was the best decision. These guys are great, and the community around it's great, and we all believe in similar things, so it just makes it easy to live together.
So you're talking about the community. Would you say that the community that you were expecting when you moved in, do you think that's the same thing that you're finding now?
I do think it is. It's a little different now that we all know each other. We have all meshed together, so we're all a little bit more comfortable with each other, I would say. But the community is still there. We're just growing closer as a house. And as a community of other houses together, we just all work well together, and we all have the same mission and same end goal. So I think it's better than when we started, just from getting to know these people that I'm living around.
Awesome. What do you think has been the best part about living here?
Honestly, the best part about living here is just the day-to-day. You don't know what you're going to get. This place is crazy. I'll say it. It's crazy, but it's so fun. It's fun. We get to go on mission together, and we get to do it together, and we also get just to have a good time together and do some pretty wild things together. Honestly, we travel together, so that's a ton of fun. We dumpster dive for donuts occasionally together. Who doesn't love that? But it's just, honestly, we're all together. That's why I love it.
Awesome. What do you think has been the most challenging part about living here? A little inverse.
I think the most challenging part about living here is I grew up where I had my own room, and I moved into this house where we share everything. I have a roommate, which is great. It's awesome, but it's not something I was used to coming into this. It really helped living with Carson my freshman year in the dorms as a little practice run for the 10 other guys in the house. But honestly, I think the hardest part is just being selfless for each other. It's tough to do sometimes, but it benefits everyone, and it's just the best way to do it.
Mm. And you talked about going on mission and being part of each other's community. What is for this? What are you referring to in terms of mission?
So everybody in this house and in this community that's around us, we all lead Young Life or Wildlife at various high schools and middle schools, which is just basically a ministry that goes to these places, these high schools and middle schools, and we just love these kids and the community that are surrounding it, and we all have the same goal of just trying to reach every kid in that school. We all run together. Some of us together, we're on teams. Some are just at different schools, but we push each other towards in our relationships with God, and we just try and just push each other to be the best that we can.
Yeah. So when I asked you about the greatest challenge about living here, you mentioned about being selfless. What do you think you've learned about that biggest challenge?
I think I've learned a lot through being selfless, that it's much more fulfilling to be selfless for someone else than to be selfish. Just being selfless, being selfless kind of feels selfish because it feels so good to me, being selfless. So I think it is just overall, it's super hard to do sometimes, but it's
better than the other way, I guess.
It's better than the other way.
Yeah. Would you say that's one of the most important things you've learned from living in this community, or what would that lesson be, do you think, if you had to nail that down? What's the top thing I've learned?
I mean, it's kind of hard. Selfless plays a huge role in it. But I've learned that, like, we're in this together. We should be pushing each other towards Christ. And that's, like, doing that is the greatest thing we can do for each other and for our friends, is keeping us on track and not letting someone else stray away, and just pushing each other has been the best thing about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, in terms of this community, I mentioned it's this Discourse community, sharing similar lingo experiences, being in the same community and doing similar things. And in this house, knowing that we live with, I guess 9 other guys, other than the 2 of us, 11 total. There's a lot of personalities that come along with that. How do you think having so many different personalities in a house, like just living together, has contributed to the community of the house?
I think that all the different personalities within our house help push us to be uncomfortable and help push us to, like, if we're not good in certain aspects of our life, someone else is, and they can push us in that way. And vice versa, if I think that I have something that I can offer somebody else, then I can offer it, obviously, but they don't have to receive it. But and honestly, just the different personalities, like, kind of like covers like the weak spots almost, and it like helps everyone get out of their comfort zone and just get close with everybody in the house and people in the community.
I like the aspect of getting out of our comfort zone. Would you say that getting out of your comfort zone has been an aspect that's pushed you in the community of the house?
Yes, within the community of the house and the community around us. That's something that I personally struggle with, is just like being uncomfortable in those situations. I'm not a really outgoing person in public situations, but friends going to other friends' houses and just going together, and deciding that I want to get better at this, that I want to work on it. So yeah, kind of forget the question, but hopefully I answered it.
Yeah, I think you did. Let's hit a different one. Starting a new spot, is there anything that you'd want to change about the community of the house, knowing like what we have going on here? And you mentioned how we kind of cover each other's weaknesses. Is there something where it's like, oh, I didn't have to cover that weakness, that just wasn't a part of the house? Like, I wish I could change this aspect of this community.
The one thing I could change, I would want to change out of the aspect of the community of this house, is less dirty dishes, because my goodness, it gets piled up. I also want to change the fact that, or change to be a little more cleanly of the house, clean the house a little bit more. That's probably not what the answers you were going for, but like, I just think we can do a better job of cleaning.
So, what about something, maybe how we treat each other as an aspect of the community that you'd want to change? Beyond like a physical aspect of the dishes, because obviously I would definitely also
sometimes it doesn't seem like you do want to change that, mister. But I mean, we could talk nice about talk better about other people. Just realizing that they are children of God and that we are no higher than them. We should put ourselves at a lower point, and serve them. I think that's something that we can work on a lot, and I would change that. Just being selfless for everyone. Honestly, I'm just looping back around to selfless because that's a good answer.
I mean, the selfless answer, I think it can come back, and I think it's a cornerstone of part of what our community of the house is made off of. But what do you think could be done to help make that specific change?
I think it just starts with one of us just maybe telling somebody, hey, we probably shouldn't say that about somebody, and then kind of just like thinking about what we say before, thinking about what we show other people before we show it. I think that that we can just like watch ourselves before we do it. Just really think about what we want to do before we do it. And if we don't think it's the right thing, it's probably not. If we have to think about it, it's probably not the right thing.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think that's it.
So, the last one, what do you think sets this community apart from other communities in Clifton? Let's talk about it more in the aspect of this specific house. What do you think sets this house apart from other like typical college guy houses?
I think that a lot of typical college guy houses are centered around like weak structures. We're centered around like our faith and our commitment towards God and the communities we were trying to serve. We are focused on something in the future, whereas guys or other houses may be focusing on the present. Like, yes, it's very
like, where are we going to be this weekend?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, it is also good to focus on the present, but we as a house have a fixed point ahead of us that we are trying to get to. We are just pushing to just like spread the gospel, and we do that as a house, I would say, pretty well. And I'd say that's what separates us is we all have this one thing in common, and some people may just be friends with that are just, I don't know what I'm trying to say with that one, but like, I mean,
maybe being friends that typically wouldn't be friends. We're all not built off of each other's relationships, but also like one relationship that we're all trying to focus on of like us with our faith.